The holidays are supposed to be all about connection, right? But for a lot of our older folks who live on their own, the season can actually feel incredibly quiet. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into a really gentle but super effective way to help bridge that gap. It's about moving past just saying, hey, come join us, and figuring out how to create a connection that feels truly comfortable.
Wow, that phrase really hits home, doesn't it? It just perfectly captures the heart of the issue. When someone's living alone, all the things that are supposed to be so joyful, the holiday music, the decorations, they can sometimes just shine a spotlight on what's missing. The quiet in the house gets louder, and those warm memories can start to feel more like ghosts than companions.
And that's the real challenge we're facing, right? Our first instinct, our good instinct, is to invite them, to include them, to pull our loved ones into the middle of all the fun. But what do you do when that big, wonderful invitation, well, for them it feels like being asked to climb a mountain? How can we help without making them feel even more pressure?
To really get this, let's talk about a story. We're going to call him Mr. D. His experience is a perfect example of how a really vibrant, active connection can kind of slowly fade into isolation, and, more importantly, why that happens.
So this was his thing. Every single morning in December, Mr. D would call up his daughter and give her a little weather report. He was just full of life, full of care. He was the one reaching out, a really active part of his family's daily life.
But then, after his wife passed away, something shifted. The morning calls stopped. The holiday lights, they just stayed in the box. He went from being the one who always reached out to just passively waiting for the phone to ring. And the thing is, the silence grew, not because he wanted to be alone, but because starting that conversation just felt different now.
And when his daughter invited him to join the family holiday gathering, this was his reason. And that right there, that's the key. It's so important. Notice, he didn't say, I don't want to see you. He said, I don't want to be a burden. That feeling, man, it is such a powerful, powerful reason why so many seniors pull away.
So what we're seeing here isn't that they don't want to connect. It's a behavior we call avoidance. It's kind of like a defense mechanism, right? It kicks in when they're feeling totally overwhelmed, or maybe embarrassed, or just like they're in the way. But here's the good news. Avoidance is something we can absolutely gently reshape.
Okay, this slide really breaks down the change in our approach. On the left, you've got pushing. Giving direct orders like, call your sister. That can just feel like more pressure. But on the right, you see prompting. These are these subtle little nudges in their environment that make connection feel like it was their idea all along. It's all about creating an opportunity, not an obligation.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Let's walk through what we're calling the Gentle Nudge Toolkit. It breaks this whole idea down into 3 really simple, actionable steps that anyone can take.
All right, it all comes down to these 3 things. First, we're going to set the stage by tweaking their environment. Second, we'll build some gentle routines to create a feeling of predictability and build our confidence. And third, and this is a big one, we use our words to make joining in feel completely safe and totally pressure-free. Let's break each one down.
Step 1. Setting the stage. This is all about getting rid of those little, tiny roadblocks that can stop someone in their tracks. So, a favorite holiday card sitting right by the phone? That's a warm visual prompt to call someone. Leaving the video call app already open on the tablet? That's one less tech hurdle to deal with. And check out that last one. Sometimes just turning down the sensory chaos with soft lights or familiar music makes the whole space feel so much more welcoming and way less stressful.
All right, next up, step 2 is all about building some gentle momentum. Routines are amazing because they create predictability, and that fights back against that feeling of chaos and loneliness. We're not talking about packing their schedule here. It's about anchoring the day with small, nice moments, and starting with what we call an easy win. Like just looking at an old family photo can build up just enough social energy to take a bigger step, like maybe making that phone call.
And finally, step 3. This one is huge, and it's all about the words we choose. Remember how Mr. D felt like a burden? Well, these phrases are the antidote to that feeling. That one about offering an easy out, come for just 10 minutes, is so incredibly powerful. You're removing all the pressure. You're giving them total control, which, funny enough, actually makes them more likely to join in, not less.
Okay, so we've gone through the why this is happening and the how to help. But I get it, with all these ideas, it can feel like, okay, that's great, but where do I even start? The key here is not to try to do everything at once. It's to really embrace the power of one single small change.
And that's the question we always hear, right? With all the craziness of the holidays,
What's the one thing you can do that'll make a real difference, like right now, without adding a ton more stress to your plate?
Well, the answer is actually really, really simple. Don't start with a big talk or a complicated plan. Just start with their environment. Make one tiny, almost invisible adjustment that sets the stage for connection to happen.
And here it is, the perfect example. Just take a holiday card, maybe from a grandchild or a close friend, someone they adore, and just set it right next to their phone or their tablet. That's it. It's this quiet little reminder that they are loved, that someone is thinking of them, and that a connection is literally just an arm's length away. It's not a demand, it's a gentle invitation. And that's the start.
So as we wrap this up, I just want to leave you with this one thought. The answer to loneliness doesn't always have to be some big, grand gesture. Sometimes the most meaningful changes start with the quietest, smallest actions. What if that tiny little nudge is all it really takes to help open the door that loneliness is quietly closed?